I gave sharing these tips a lot of thought before sharing them. These are some potent psychological theories that explain the development of compulsions and addictions. When misused, they can cause great harm. Still, they can also help decent men spice up their romantic relationships. All right, let's get started. These are 7 extremely powerful ways to get women to fall in love with you. Number 1, go away for a little while. The old adage, absence makes the heart grow fonder, is true. In fact, it's essential if you want someone to adore you. The times when we lack something are when our obsessions grow. Their foundation is longing and craving. Giving in to your lover's constant need for attention prevents her from developing a healthy desire for you. She'll probably take you for granted. When something or someone is constantly present, that is what occurs. However, if you vanish for a bit, that contrasts with you and makes her realize how happy you make her. Thus, offer your partner the present of your absence. She will start to crave your presence more and more the harder it is for her to earn it. How to approach this healthily? Don't just stop talking to your partner after a few days. Rather, make your life so hectic that you can't possibly be with her all the time. Number 2, the hot and cold blow. Because they are unpredictable, slot machines can be very addictive. They would be boring if you knew when they would pay out. The ignorance is what sets off the addiction. Dopamine is released in anticipation of pleasure rather than upon experiencing it, which explains this. In a similar vein, women aren't as enthralled with you if you're consistently a giving and kind partner. You turn into the stereotypical nice guy. Women are utterly fascinated by men who are erratic. They are the guys who can be endearing one moment and unpleasant and inconsiderate the next. The ignorance is what sets off the addiction. How to approach this healthily? Don't intentionally act a jerk to keep your significant other guessing. Instead, always be true to yourself. Adopt a radical honesty. Tell your partner that you adore something she does. Tell her if there is something you don't like. Number 3, astonish her with intense motions. The primary excitement of playing slots is the constant possibility of striking the big prize. A woman may develop a strong obsession with you if she senses that about you. Occasionally, you can build up to that anticipation by buying her amazing gifts out of the blue. Do you want that fixation to intensify even more? Tell her you appreciated something nice she did, and that's what the gift was meant to be. The next time she does something similar, don't give her a gift. This is how you teach your dog to approach you in the absence of a treat. In a similar vein, people can be trained to be extremely giving.
Number 4, be challenging to impress. Have you ever had a teacher who was extremely severe about grades? You most likely put in more effort to please that teacher if you were a motivated learner. Because you knew it was hard to get an A* from someone else, you most likely valued a B+ from them more. The same is true in interpersonal relationships. She won't respect you at all if you're a people pleaser who acts as though you're impressed by everything a woman says or does. She'll probably try harder to get your approval, though, if you're hard to impress. How to approach this healthily? If a woman truly impresses you, don't be shy. Rather develop into a man who surrounds himself with remarkable people and who truly has high expectations for everyone. Number 5, speak in a very emotional tongue. Emotions are what women feed on. It's a characteristic of their femininity. Her obsession with you will intensify the more feelings you arouse in her. Strong, positive, and negative emotions are mixed together and serve throughout a great movie. Your sweetie secretly wishes that her relationships were the same. Whenever you speak to your partner more emotionally, you can inadvertently recreate this drama. Decide on a position and don't back down. Tell her you hate ramen noodles and you love sushi for dinner, rather than that you don't care what's for dinner. Tell her you adore her eye color or that you find it unbearable the way she slurps her soup. She can tell you're kidding when you make these remarks while grinning playfully. The emotional effect will be felt in the same way. How to approach this healthily? Avoid being impolite or fabricating drama for its own sake. Instead, make light-hearted exaggerations about insignificant details that don't really matter. Number 6, instill fear. It has been demonstrated that the fear of losing something outweighs the happiness of possessing it. Therefore, your partner's obsession may be fueled more by the times she doubts your relationship than by the happy times. There are many subtle and harmless ways to plant a doubt in your lover's mind. You may provide witty justifications for why your relationship will never succeed. I like to tell women that they're not compatible with Libras. After she tries to text you something funny or insightful, leave her on read and turn off your phone for a few hours. Send open-ended texts like, "We need to talk," or "I have an important question." Women will be drawn to your rapport like crazy, but I find these ideas to be too manipulative. In fact, the majority of people will stop at nothing to get away from this terrible feeling of dread. How to approach this healthily? Avoid deliberately trying to convince your partner that other women desire you. That's extremely transparent and toxic at the same time. Rather make yourself so desirable that it would be obvious that any woman would be afraid of losing you. Number 7, keep the movie's conclusion a secret. Women want their love stories to have a Hollywood plot twist, but these works best when the resolution isn't immediately clear. Therefore, be kind to her and never let her know that you want to have sex, until the very last minute, naturally. It's preferable to provide a sincere justification for her to return to your home. She is more eager to see what might or might not happen because of this doubt. It keeps her from thinking less of you for coming along. In the end, though, it increases the likelihood that you will both have a happy ending. How to approach this healthily? If telling white lies will benefit both of you, you can use them to increase sexual tension. To get a woman into bed, however, avoid being that guy who lies about his life and his long-term goals. That's a self-serving action that can never be win-win.